serve receive.
The first NCAA tournament win with Coach Stubbs at the helm yesterday for Arizona. The 30th appearance in the NCAA tournament for the Wildcats, with the first since 2018. First win since 2016, and an ace right there.
An ace for the libero, Etzler. She had, I think, about 3 yesterday in that match. She pushed a lot of points. 4, excuse me. So someone who goes to that back line and makes a difference.
Career high for the freshman. What a time to do it. Cisneros with the big swing.
Great swing from Cisneros, finding space in between the block. Off the hands of Andrew, she flies in, trying to close that seam.
Brenna Ginder at the line, the sophomore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Over to Harvey, off the block. The touch, into the tape. Stanford up by 6, 16-10.
Something else that's always interesting is how a team responds when they come out of a timeout. It's always one of those moments that become very pivotal.
Harvey with the serve, a couple of aces for her yesterday. Right at the net. Joust goes Stanford's way.
For the Wildcats, really needing to reset here. 2 plays in a row where the ball is just really in a tough spot for their hitters to do anything with it, especially when it just gets too tight to the tape. It's really hard to try to keep something like that in play.
Tough serve, here's Cisneros, even tougher swing.
Cisneros is doing a really great job exploiting the block right now with Stanford. They're leaving her a little too much space there in the seam, not closing all the way, and she is taking advantage of it.
High 4 kills for Carly Cisneros, hitting .375. There's Rubin with the soft touch. From the back row, Wilson! Shutting it down!
The pace on that back row attack to Wilson. She gets that quick set, goes up, hammers that ball cross court. Look how high she gets and how close she gets to the net on that swing. Great play from the Wildcats.
There's Rubin with the kill. Stanford answers.
Great swing from the senior. We talked about it throughout the season. Her leading the Cardinal is one of the few upperclassmen on the floor.
The only returning All-American for this Stanford team. Back corner, beautiful placement from Cisneros. 5th kill.
Cisneros is on fire right now. And the Cardinal really have not had an answer for her. No errors for the outside. Hitting .500.
Another big Cardinal swing.
Another big swing there from Harvey. Cardinal have their own answer with the back row attack, coming in for that pipe swing. Turning that ball.
Jordan Harvey hitting .800 so far. Free ball opportunity. There's you, the slide to Sayer.
Sayer has improved so much throughout the season. We've seen her adjust on that slide multiple times, taking a huge swing down the line.
At the timeout, Stanford leads Arizona 20-13 here in the first set in the second round of the tournament. It's been a great one so far here in Maples Pavilion. The Cardinal, number 2 seed in the quadrant, up 20-13 over Arizona. Familiar foes, long-time history in the Pac-12. Arizona coming out of its second year in the Big 12, finished 6th in the regular season. The Cardinal co-champions of the ACC. 7 All-ACC honorees and the ACC Coach of the Year, Kevin Hambley. Kirsch with the serve, and the block goes right up.
This is Sayer's moment right now, these last couple of points. before the timeout. A big kill from her, and now a block to start us off here.
A match high 9 blocks for Sayer yesterday. That was to go along with 11 kills. Coco Kirsch again at the line. Squirt over to Jones. It's shut down again.
Before this match started, the one thing I said was how important blocking was going to be for both of these teams. We are seeing the Cardinal turn it on. They had some moments yesterday where they had some struggles there, and now today they are back on it.
Both these teams facing strong blocking teams yesterday. With Utah Valley and South Dakota State. They tried to find the back floor, and it falls in.
Unfortunate error there. That ball flying back across the net. No one ready for that one. The Wildcats will take that point. What's so interesting, even with the score right now, Stanford up 22-14, still on both sides so competitive. The Wildcats really battling back, taking some big, big swings.
Off the top of the tape. Cardinal recover, Blashoff. There's a setup from Scoggins to Wilson. Joust at the net. Arizona wins the battle.
Wildcats trying to chip their way back here, little by little, in some of these moments. So Wilson will take another point here on the net.
Yu pushes it over. Near recovery for the Wildcats. What an effort from Wilson. She ran right into the broadcast table.
Right in front of us here, trying to go after that ball. Very scrappy on both sides. Cardinal really just taking control of this first set.
Serve from Yu. Here's Jones. Dug up by Yu, joust at the net. Journey Tucker in the middle, taking care of business.
In every play right now, I know you always say in volleyball you have to be ready at the net, but there are so many balls landing right on the plane of the tape. Everyone has to be ready for anything to come over on their side in some of these little scrappy moments.
Over to Blashoff, off the block. Over to Wilson, off the top of the tape, falls out. Point Stanford, and it's set point for the Cardinals.
Error there for Wilson. Blashoff going back to serve now. And this speaks to the speed we're used to seeing from Stanford, at how quickly they can close out a set.
Blashoff goes long.
At that point, go to the Cardinal. I think that ball went off of the arm of libero on the Wildcats. So the first set is now closed out, and that goes to Stanford.
25-16. The Cardinal takes set number 1. Quick pace moving already here at Maples Pavilion. We'll head to set number 2 here in the second round of the NCAA tournament. The first set went to the Cardinal 25-16, and they hit 565 in that first set. Quite an improvement from yesterday's start against Utah Valley.
I think for the Cardinal, after the way that yesterday started in that match, that was kind of a wake-up call for them. And I talked about this earlier. The tournament is a time where upsets happen. Teams do things that you're not expecting. You have to be ready every single moment, every single point. We know from watching the way that the bracket has shifted so far, seeing what Cal Poly has been able to do today, for those watching and keeping up with the NCAA tournament, this is a moment where every match matters, and that 1 point can send you home. I think from what we're seeing here, the way that the Cardinals started this match, so much energy, so much competitiveness, that they went after yesterday and really had to have a conversation of, hey, how do we want to start today? How do we want to start this match? And we saw that with how efficient and how quickly they closed out that first set. So now for Arizona and for the Wildcats, it's going to be, how do we respond now? They started out very strong in the first few. You saw them trading back and forth, and even with what we saw in that first set, closing it out 25-16, they still played with a lot of competitiveness. Didn't see them, losing their confidence at all here. So it'll be interesting to see how this second set goes.
Adjustments coming out of the break. We talked about how key that is. Both of these teams coming out of conferences that had a tough slate. 10 Big 12 teams making it to the NCAA tournament. 8 of those moving on to the second round. A couple already in the Sweet 16 with Arizona State and Kansas. 7 ACC teams making it to the tournament. 6 moving on to the second round. A lot of good competition that has led both teams here. Yu recovers. Here's Blasov. First swing, first kill, first point, Stanford.
I want to talk about how great that out-of-system set was from Yu. It wasn't exactly maybe where she wanted it, but she's sprinting after that ball, trying to bump in a place where Blasov can make something happen, and she does.
Something Kevin Hambley spoke highly of with both Elia Rubin and Blasov. Against Louisville, and Erica Sayer continuing her presence in the middle. He said the out-of-system shots that both Blasov and Rubin were taking against Louisville were a huge reason why they had the success that they did. He said he didn't know if he'd seen 2 outside hitters have a better match.
It's one of the most important parts of volleyball, especially for those who want to play at the next level. The out-of-system swings are so important to your success, as we see that again from Harvey, showing us how it's done. On such a tough play there, sliding almost halfway under the net to save that ball. And she goes up and takes a huge swing at that set.
Team high 5 kills for Harvey, 833 hitting percentage so far. Over to Jones, dug up by Rubin. Here's Blasov. Yu to Harvey once again, executed. 6 kills for Jordan Harvey.
The pace and power on that swing from Harvey. She can hit that hard out of system when she's off the net, and she hits that hard when she's in system, and the set is perfect.
Cardinal come out of the break and start the set on a 4-0 scoring run. Yu still at the line. Out of system, pushed over. That'll work. Right in the middle, Arizona on the board.
A little bit of tough communication, and miscommunication there for the Cardinal. No one expecting her to tip that, but you could see when she was approaching that she wasn't going to take a swing at that ball.
Blasov trying to find the floor. Bobcats survive. Jordan Harvey.
Trying to go for it, that sharp cross court that we have seen her hit before. Doesn't quite get it that time. She is someone, if I'm playing in 2, I'm scared when she goes to hit the ball.
Oh, she's hitting 625 now after that. Still doing well. Wildcats back within 2, though. Make it 3. Blasov adds to the tally. It's 5-2 Stanford.
Great tip there from the outside. Finding space in the middle of the floor and between the block. I think that also speaks to just both of these teams running much faster offense, so a lot of seams in the block here.
Jones with the tip. Diving is Etzler, but it's successful. Jones with her 3rd kill tonight. Coming in to serve, Georgia Mandoti for Arizona. They trail by 2 early on here in the second set, the senior from Milan, Italy. Over to Harvey, it's off the block. Tough at the net, Arizona back within 1.
Tough one here. The Wildcats really coming back and coming into play in the second set like we expected that they would. And forcing the Cardinal to make a few more unforced errors than they would have expected also.
Communication a little bit tough here. Here's a free ball. Scoggins over to Wilson. Connects once again.
What's tough on both sides of the court right now, both teams are exploiting the middle of the floor. And so for each of them, trying to figure out what changes you want to make on your back row defense to be ready for stuff like this. You have players who obviously are very athletic and very tall that can get over the block to push that ball straight down, but Sayer has an answer for that with a huge swing from her out of the middle.
Sayer gives the lead back to the Cardinal. That's her 4th kill tonight. She's hitting over 500.
So Etzler, as we said yesterday, pushed points on her serve. 4 aces for the libero.
First team all ACC this season. Here's Wilson. Diving it over there. Harvey goes cross court. Touches the antenna. Out of bounds, and the point goes to Arizona. Tied up again at 6.
More errors here for the Cardinal. You can see the energy shifting just a little bit. Maybe getting a little frantic here. Things not really going their way in these last few points.
Cardinal hitting 333 overall. Arizona 250 in this set. There's Harvey at the net. Joust to Arizona.
This is a little reminiscent of what we saw at the start of the match against Utah Valley yesterday with the Cardinal. Making a few more errors than they would have expected. Some of this also starts with the pass. As a team just needing to regroup and calm down a little bit on the serve receive. Get that ball to your setter. And we saw that happen in that play, as I just said, just trying to reset and regroup. And we've seen the Cardinal able to do that in some moments.
Success when getting the middles involved this season as well. Lizzie Andrew and Erica Sayer both in the top 5 in the ACC in hitting percentage coming into the postseason. Over to Wilson. Wilson continues to roll. Match high 7 kills.
Wilson continuing to exploit the Cardinal on the defense with her tips. And they're so powerful. When she goes up, you're expecting something short, and she just throws that ball down, making it really hard to play defense on her right now.
Her service error into the net will even it back up at 8.
And even speaking of the errors, for both teams, very low error on the serves right now. So both teams putting a lot of pressure on each other on the serve receive. And that has made a lot of these plays even more difficult.
Here's Rubin, the all-time aces leader for Stanford. Shut down, recovered. Arizona stays in it. You on the slide again. Andrew gets the touch, gets the kill.
Flat ball there to Andrew. She comes around, also maybe a net violation there as well. That last play from the Wildcats.
The Stanford team that was ranked 5th in the nation for 8 straight weeks coming into the postseason, and Arizona fighting back there to tie it up once again at 9.
Arizona, they had some tough moments throughout the end of November. They lost 3 in a row. 2 of those matches, though, to ranked teams in Arizona State and BYU. 1 to Utah, but through the week of Thanksgiving, they beat West Virginia and Cincinnati to close out the regular season before getting that win yesterday against South Dakota State. So this is a team that has seen some top teams and has really been finding their identity throughout this season and battling back in a lot of these matches.
3-6 against ranked opponents this year. The wins at the time: number 21 BYU, number 13 TCU, number 16 Baylor. Here's Coco Kirsch. Cross court. Here's you, the slide to Sayer. Slip and slide, still working for Stanford.
That point going to Arizona, calling that ball down the line from Sayer out. Let's see if we can take another look here. Landed right outside of the line there. And that's that swing that she's been working on throughout the season. We've seen when it's been successful.
And the swing there from Sydney Vanek, who has entered the match, the junior from Clovis, California. She had double-digit kills yesterday.
Vanek back in now, the big swing. Out of the middle.
And there she is again, on the back line.
Another one from Vanek coming in and making a difference immediately. Keeping Arizona in this lead right now against the Cardinal.
She has shifted responsibilities, moved to the middle. Something that Coach Stubbs talks about. She wanted something different from her middles. She's been getting that. Stanford strikes back. 1 point set here.
Last kill right off of the hands.
Yu with the long serve. Arizona back up by 2. A pair of service aces for each squad so far tonight. Jordan Harvey with some authority. Team high 8 kills.
Jordan Harvey, she's gotten so good at coming inside for that play that Stanford likes to run with her. It always throws the other team off guard on their defense when she comes in. She hits that ball so sharp.
In the back row, Cisneros, Erica Sayer catching some air.
A great read from Sayer on the block to stay in there. You see her take that half step out just in case, but reads, goes straight up, keeps her hands right over the net. A great block from the middle blocker.
Tied back at 13. It's going to go long to give Arizona the advantage, 14-13. Erica Sayer had a match-high 9 blocks yesterday. She's got 5 already tonight. Mandoti at the line for the Wildcats. Rubin. Miscommunication for Arizona, and Stanford ties it up.
Continuous battle back and forth here for both of these teams. As we see Etzler go back to the service line.
Back set to Jones. Beautiful. Renee Jones with her 4th kill tonight. 15-14, the Wildcats lead here in the second set. Stanford up 1-0. We got ourselves a ball game. It's been pretty even here in the second set of the second round of the NCAA tournament between Arizona and Stanford. The Wildcats up 15-14 over the Cardinal, and it's been a lot of back and forth this time around.
We're seeing that here. When you look at the hitting percentages of both teams, yes, there is a little bit of a difference, but pretty even on both sides here. No one making too many errors on one or the other. Only a few other unforced errors that we saw in the last couple of points, but the Cardinal in this set hitting 353 as a team to Arizona hitting 294, so not too bad.
Over to Rubin. First point out of the break, and we're tied at 15.
She comes in with a nice cross-court swing there. Tally her 4th kill, hitting 667 so far on the match.
National Player of the Year semifinalist is Elia Rubin. In the back row, Cisneros.
Cisneros has done a great job throughout this match so far, just finding space to score her points around the block. She's something that we really haven't seen so far. They haven't really touched a lot of the balls that she's hit, actually, so far in this matchup.
Tough serve right there from the Wildcats. Rubin just outside.
Tough play there, but speaks to the serve that we're seeing from Wilson here.
It's an Arizona team that was disappointed to not make the NCAA tournament last year in 2024. Coach Stubbs said something they took to heart and took with them coming into this season in the preseason, scheduling some tougher teams to leave no doubt they did win the NIVC championship last year in the Invitational. She said that really helped springboard them into the spring and the fall this year. Free ball. Over to Andrew on the slide.
Andrew, one of the most efficient hitters and middles in the country. See that swing from her on the slide. So good at that for her.
And there's career ace number 149 for Elia Rubin. She holds the program record for Stanford in the rally scoring era.
so good at the service line for Rubin.
There's Cisneros with the roll shot, diving is Etzler. Andrew off the block. Arizona resets, Cisneros tools it.
Huge swing for Cisneros off of the block. That's her 8th kill already of this matchup.
These two just trading blows right now. They've only met twice in the NCAA tournament. Stanford has won both times. Blashaw finding the back.
Great choice there from Blashaw as she goes up. You see her as she's in the air, taking some time to even think about where she wants that ball to go. Seeing that there's open space in the back court and take something off of that swing. It's always great as a pin hitter to have different shots in your tool belt.
Blashaw, second team All ACC this season. The dump! Beautiful! Scoggins delivers.
That one catching the Cardinal off guard. A great aggressive play there from Scoggins. So as we talked about earlier, even though the Cardinals started off in that first set so fast, closing that set out, so even in gameplay here between these two teams.
That serve goes long. Scoggins did have a double-double yesterday with 58 assists, 12 digs. Stanford now leads 20-19 with Taylor Yu at the line. Had her own double-double yesterday as well, over 40 assists, double-digit digs. There's a dig there. Blashaw into the block. Vanek once again contributes.
Huge block there from Vanek and Jones as they go up in front of Blashaw. Great block from her. See how much she presses over the net on that block.
Blashaw with the tip. Here's Wilson. Dig from Etzler goes out of bounds. Wilson, another kill.
Wilson taking off right now, adding her 8th kill, tied with Cisneros for kills so far in this match, as Cisneros goes back now to serve.
21 serving 20. All tied up at 21 here late in the second set.
And this is tough. As I talked about, every point matters, especially in the tournament. Those last couple of service errors changing the momentum a lot for the Wildcats.
They're out hitting the Cardinal right now in this set, 391 to 292. Erica Sayer evens it.
Sayer has just been so good on the block in the middle right now, and I mean that literally by staying in for all these points. Her read, even when they're hitting out of the back row and moving around, she's reading very well right now for the freshman.
Contributed to 7 already tonight. That's off the block from Wilson. Yu setting it up. Here's Rubin at the net.
Unfortunate error there in such a close moment. I talked about that earlier with the out-of-system sets. In some moments, they have been so perfect from the Cardinal. But quite a few of these, they've lost at least 4 points so far in this match with out-of-system sets just being way too tight or literally going over the net. I know it's difficult when you're running after that ball.
Serve from Mandotti. Yu over to Harvey. Big dig from Cisneros. Here's Wilson, pushes it back. Etzler with the set. Rubin. Good recovery from Arizona. Here's Wilson. Etzler with the dig. Rubin sets up Harvey. Another dig. Tucker ends the rally.
What a play from both teams. Let's take a look at this. Huge swings from both sides. The defense on both sides, and then a ball to the middle.
23-22, Arizona in the lead here in the second set. Arizona taking the lead just before the break, 23-22. Journey Tucker ending that rally in favor of the Wildcats.
That last play, Both teams trading blows with huge swings. And the back row defense, Cisneros picking up 2 major digs in the middle back. Etzler getting a few huge digs there too, but that last play ending with the ball landing in the middle of the court. And we talked about that earlier, that's been tough for Stanford. Those tips and those push tips from the Wildcats that have been landing in the middle, some miscommunication on the back row defense, but as I speak about that, also the service errors for the Wildcats, those have killed their momentum in these last 5 points.
5 total on the night for Arizona. There's Wilson with the big time swing. It sets up set point.
9 kills for Wilson here. And she's leading both teams in kills right now with that her 9th kill.
Again, 24 yesterday against South Dakota State. Here's Rubin. That's gonna get the touch. Tied up once again at 24.
Looked like they were almost going to challenge that in case they called it out. She was confident in that. We talked about the challenges yesterday with head coach Kevin Hambly and his success rate there.
Tends to have a high success rate. Coach Stubbs also used a challenge yesterday because her bench told her to, she said. Trusts them. Wilson! Who else? Double-digit kills.
Wilson is on fire right now. And she has just been moving that ball around. So many different shots, off speed, hitting hard, tips.
At the service line now. Yu to Rubin. Evens it up again.
I knew from that perfect dime pass from Blashoff to Yu, that was one of those moments where you could see the whole bench looking like somebody better make something happen with this play.
Rubin back to serve. There's Tucker. Once again, Arizona takes the lead.
Tucker, she has been so difficult for the Cardinals to defend. I know I've already talked about it a few times about the ball landing in the middle of the floor, but she has been the culprit for a lot of those points, hitting a little bit off the hands or the ball just is a little more off speed when it lands.
From the back row, the attack error, and Arizona will take set number 2, 27-25. What a response from the Wildcats coming out of set number 1. We're evened up here at Maples Pavilion. Set number 3 coming up next between these two teams. What a first couple of sets that we have seen so far tonight. Arizona punching back in the second set. They out-hit Stanford 387-226. We're evened up.
We saw some huge swings from Wilson at the end there, but also Harvey coming back with an answer for her own. But for the Cardinal, a really tough loss there to lose 25-27 in that second set. And that goes to what we talked about, how important it is. Every point matters, and every team is so close in the tournament.
The tournament has been fun to watch already. A December to remember. This is the quadrant that these two teams are fighting to continue in. You see Texas and Indiana, the number 1 and 4 seeds in the quadrant respectively, and Wisconsin, the number 3 seed, moving on. Who will face the winner of this match between Arizona and Stanford?
It's so interesting about those matchups. Texas beat Penn State 3-0. So all the other matches so far on this side of the bracket today have been sweeps. We had Indiana take down Colorado also in 3. Same with Wisconsin against North Carolina. So already here trading sets back and forth with Arizona and Stanford. It'll be interesting to see how we start this third set.
The winner of tonight's match will move on to Austin for the regional. Already punching their tickets to the Sweet 16. Hard to believe we're already that far along, but it has been an exciting first and second round so far.
And moving really quick here, and how important every single moment is while you're on the floor. A few mistakes here and there can be the difference maker on whether or not you close out a set and close out a match. And we've already seen a few other upsets today that have happened. We're watching for the tournament, for anyone tuning in. think I made a joke earlier about, some brackets have already been destroyed in the last couple of matches after today.
That's one of the fun things about the postseason. It's a brand new season in a lot of ways. It starts all over. Your season's on the line, single elimination, so it makes it a little extra exciting.
And another side of this bracket, from the lower half, Cal Poly today took down USC in 5, which is huge. But not only that, to get to USC, they had to take down BYU in 5. So 2 5-setters for that team, and now they will face Kentucky.
First time in 18 years that they have advanced this far into the postseason. Cal Poly Mustangs trying to make a run for it. They're still dancing. These two teams right here, you can say the exact same thing, and they would like to extend their seasons even further. 1 set apiece. Stanford took the first one. Arizona took the second one. And the third set now underway. Coco Kirsch. Scoggins over to Cisneros. Gets the touch and the kill and the first point.
Cisneros already starting out, putting points on the board for the outside hitter. She already had 8 kills. Her 9th kill now, hitting 400 for the outside.
1-2 punch that her and Wilson has been huge. And so has Erica Sayer answering to tie it up at 1.
Erica Sayer, her 5th kill, the freshman middle blocker. She's also been so lethal on the block so far in this match. 7 blocks already for her.
Taylor New with the ace. Had a couple of yesterday, adding another one here today.
Taylor New really coming in, and we're seeing her get more and more comfortable on the floor as we've seen from yesterday.
Those 2 aces yesterday was a season high for her.
Filling in for Logan Parks as she's been out. Not able to compete these last 2 matches, but it just speaks to the talent on the Stanford Cardinal team to have another setter come in and be able to fill in, and your pin hitters be able to adjust to her so quickly.
Logan Parks, All-ACC second team and freshman team this season. There's Jones, dug up by Rubin. Over to Blashoff with the touch. Cisneros off the block. Who sets it for Harvey. We play on. Cisneros again, tip. Handled by the Cardinal. Here's Blashoff. Arizona survives. The defense. Erica Sayer finishes it.
This matchup, both of these teams are just going to exhaust each other. We can see it in every play, the determination to stay in this, to pick up every single ball.
3-0 scoring run for Stanford. In the middle, there's Vanek. She ran into Sayer. Arizona staying alive again. Harvey just wide. Wildcats within 2.
The Wildcats are playing so scrappy right now, picking up everything on the floor in these last 2 plays. Harvey trying to find space down that line with the tip just outside of the hands of Cisneros, landing outside of the court.
On the slide, 2 on the block.
That ball comes right over to us. I was almost going to put my platform out and pass that one.
You were ready.
I was ready to move back to let them try to reach over our table and get the ball too, but it landed right in front of it.
Erica Sayer now with 7 kills tonight. Out of system, Arizona. Wilson with a big swing. Off the video board on Stanford's side. Rubin keeps it going. Free ball. Here's Wilson. 2 on the block.
What a play there. That last swing, the ball flying all the way into the video board. Stanford keeping that one alive, giving that ball back to Arizona, and Wilson going back up to terminate. It's a tough one there. You see the block from Harvey. She tries to come inside for the seam there, but it's always tough when your arms are way outside of your body like that, leaving some space for her to get a kill off the side of her arm.
Sayre with the error. The point goes to Arizona. 5-4, Stanford still in the lead.
It can also be a little tough sometimes for teams when you do play at such a fast pace. It's also so easy to get out of rhythm.
Rubin. Here comes Wilson. Etzler with the dig. Here's Rubin again. And Jones with the tip. You cross court. Rubin with the kill. She is Rubin improving. 7th one tonight.
Seeing the back row defense on the Cardinal as they both dive past each other trying to get that tip. And I know that most likely came from a conversation of how many balls in that last set were dropping in the middle. So good coverage there from the Cardinal and from Etzler, the libero.
Rubin now hitting .357 so far tonight. Near ace. Arizona stays alive. Off the tape. Cardinal with a 3-point lead.
Tough air there from Wilson. Tries to go for it. It's a tough ball to come inside and try to take a swing. Doesn't quite clear the tape.
Wilson, match high 11 kills. And the ace right there.
I know we've said it multiple times. 4 aces for her yesterday. Etzler so good on the back line with her serve. Her second ace in this match.
Already double-digit digs for her as well. Jones runs right into a wall.
Andrew and Rubin on the block. And we'll get a timeout called from Arizona as Stanford has taken over 9-4.
The 5-point lead for the Cardinal here in the third set over Arizona. A set apiece for Stanford and Arizona here in the second round of the NCAA tournament. The third set, the Cardinal in control early, up by 5. It's 9-4 as we come out of the break.
This has been such an even matchup as we've seen in the last couple of sets. Both teams having their moments of exploiting the other. But the Cardinal in the lead now, taking control as we get another ace from Etzler. Now her third. She's going to get close to tying her 4 aces from yesterday.
That was a career high yesterday with the 4 aces, just 1 away here tonight, and it's early. It's the third set.
She's like, everybody else gets to hit but me. This is my moment to score my points now.
Wilson into the tape.
Right into the hands of the block. Pushing that ball. She will take that point. 12 kills for the outside.
5 serving 10. Andrew in the middle gets the kill. That's her 4th tonight.
Taking a big swing right off the top of the hands there. Great swing for the middle blocker.
Harvey, serve goes long. 4th service error for Stanford tonight.
Both teams were pretty efficient in the first set. Really only, at that point, maybe 1 service error apiece for either team. But now as the match has gone on, a lot more errors trading off as we've seen.
Rubin answers. Ellie Rubin now with 8 kills.
Hitting that ball with some pace to the back line. Just straight through the hands.
Now at the service line. Back set over to Wilson. Shut down.
She's done so good with taking swings and using the block in front of her to score her points. They might challenge, though. I think they're going to call that she was on the line when she went to approach and hit that ball. Looking to see if they will get that call.
Yep, Stanford. Head coach Kevin Hambley challenging.
So we'll see if they can see that on the line. She got so close to the net, I thought maybe her foot was on the line. She got all the way up, but we'll see from the review. Where'd that block land? I don't know. It's a little dicey from that angle, but that ball looks like it was in.
It does look like it was in.
That's a really good call from Stanford. It can be really tough when it's so fast like that, especially with the pace that Wilson hit that ball. But Blashoff was confident and sure that she saw that ball land in from her block. That's also great. One thing that's so funny when going up for the block is a lot of coaches will talk to players about making sure your eyes aren't closed. And sometimes some players you still do if someone's coming at you. But hey, her eyes were open, obviously. She was able to see that that ball was in.
Both these head coaches definitely trust their players too in the court vision that they have and deciding when to utilize the video review. Coach Stubbs did it yesterday because her bench told her, hey, we saw that. You got to use it right now. And she trusted them. Kevin Hambley looks to his players quite a bit.
And that ball, that did look like she got a little piece of the line there. So we'll see. Wilson has been very good so far in this match, though, of using the hands on the block. She has. And a lot of those kills have been in the block and out. So I think they may have gotten that point from
the call reversed, and the Cardinal fans at Maples Pavilion excited about it.
Successful challenge. Yeah, as we talked about, that efficiency for Coach Hambley on those challenges. I'm gonna start having challenge stats now too for matchups.
Need to. Tucker diving as Rubin. Blashoff punched up. Free ball. Blashoff is blocked.
That ball does land in on the block in that play. So the Wildcats getting that point back here.
Second block that Tucker has contributed to tonight. Rita Stubbs says she handles her business quietly, but when she speaks, the team listens to her. Blashoff goes long. Arizona starting to chip away.
Blashoff trying to go for it in these last two plays there. Smart choice, just landing right side of the court there in that swing.
Service error from the Wildcats.
It's their 7th overall as a team. Something against the Cardinal that you want to be very careful of. I talked a lot about momentum swing, and that's one of those important ones that you want to really try to maintain your control on that serve.
6-point lead for the Cardinal. Back row is Wilson. 13th kill.
Wilson has just been going after it so far in this match. Leading both teams right now in kills.
First team all Big 12 this season, came in to the postseason averaging over 4.5 kills per set. Stanford adds another one. They're the first to 15 here in the third set.
Blashoff finding some space there with that tip right into the middle and off of the hands. And I will say for both teams, both very aggressive when they tip the ball too.
Roll shot. Harvey with the kill. Team high 9 kills for Jordan Harvey.
There, Jordan, she is high flying, going for that ball, taking that one straight into the seam there, right into the middle back.
Cardinal have had some success with Taylor Yu at the line this night. Tip from Wilson is successful. Changes it up.
As I just talked about, those incredibly fast and aggressive tips from both teams, and Wilson has been the queen of those so far in this match.
Arizona now with double digits, 10 serving, 16. Harvey right into it. Arizona recovers. Too many touches, whistle blown. Stanford now with 17.
So the Cardinal completely taking off here and so quickly pushing points, staying in the lead, not letting up at all in this matchup with an ace from Blashoff.
That's her second tonight.
7 aces for the Cardinal. And for Arizona, no aces so far in this matchup. That's a huge difference maker between what these two teams are doing as far as the pressure they're putting on the other team's serve receive.
4 service errors for Stanford, 7 aces to balance that out, and then some. 7 service errors for Arizona. To your point, no aces as of yet from the line. And Stanford out hitting Arizona in this set, 238 to .053.
Seeing a really different team than we saw in those first 2 sets with Arizona, even at the beginning of this set. But that is a huge difference maker. It really is the serve pass game, and that is something that Stanford has been able to handle a little bit more here. We talked about out-of-system play. Where do you get the ball? And even in the last set, the Cardinal did struggle in some of those moments to get good out-of-system sets to their pin hitters, but in this set so far, have been very efficient and very good in putting each other in good spots to take good swings. With the Wildcats, seeing a little more unforced errors here for them, struggling a little bit on the serve receive, and we're seeing that with the aces that the Cardinal have been able to push.
Rita Stubbs talked about that as well. She said really every match that she's watched this year, it comes down to the serve pass. Every single time it gets back to the fundamentals, and they knew that Stanford had some competitive servers, and they needed to weather that storm. They fought really well in that second set, hit just under 400, but under 100 here in the third.
It's always tough when you're playing a team like Stanford too. As I talked about their speed, it doesn't give you a lot of time to try to adjust and reset on the other side of the floor.
Out of the break, Blashoff. Here's Jones, roll shot. Yu set up to Sayre shut down. Sydney Vanek, when she is in the middle, she makes her presence known.
A huge block there from her. We've seen her come in, make a big difference with a couple of kills and now a couple of blocks for her. That is the momentum swing that the Cardinals and for the Wildcats that they needed coming out of that timeout.
Wilson. Possible dig there from Etzler. Rubin keeps it going. Free ball. Wilson again. This time with the kill.
I could tell when she approached that ball and how fast she closed on it that she was going to go for that swing. You see it in her hit there, that ball flying into the stands. She is really trying to get her team here to chip away at this Cardinal lead and catch back up.
Harvey off the block. Scoggins with the setup from the back row, dug up by Blashoff. Rubin gets another one.
Rubin with a huge swing coming into the middle of the floor almost. Huge swing off the top of the hands there. Score points and get her kill.
Libero scoring points at the service line. Etzler with 3 aces already. Running into a wall. Here's Wilson. Dig. Stanford survives. Wilson again. Point Stanford.
That ball there, that second set. I can see that Scoggins wanted to put some more pace on that to her, get her on the ball fast so she can take advantage of the block, maybe not being fully ready. Turns that ball outside of the court.
8-point lead for the Cardinal. Make it 9. Andrew touches it straight down.
The Cardinal have complete control of this third set right now, 21-12. And continuing to keep their foot on the gas here as Etzler goes back to serve.
Nearly matching her career high, 4 aces from yesterday. Harvey with the kill instead. 11 for Air Jordan.
The thing about Stanford is not only will they take a lead like this and continue to push so fast, they have these plays that I know it can just be so tough for the other team to really readjust to. Harvey showing her dominance at the net, taking a huge swing there on the right side.
Jones answers back.
Jones coming in to put some points on the board and get that ball back to Arizona as they try to stay in this here.
Jones, part of a volleyball family, her twin sister, volleyball over at Pitt, another ACC team. Dig from Ciceros. Wilson off the block. Hughes sets it up. Rubin runs into it.
Tucker with the block there. Her third block of the match. And for both teams right now, Stanford with 9 blocks, and now that's 7 for Arizona.
Haven Ray serving. Harvey. Stanford survives. Wilson with the touch. Rubin.
That ball hit out for Rubin. So Arizona will see a timeout here as Arizona's trying to go on a run.
The Cardinals still with a 7-point lead here in the third set, but Arizona starting to get warmed up. Jordan Wilson leading the way with 15 kills on the match. She's hitting 194, but leading the way with 36 total attempts overall. A couple of digs, couple of blocks for her too, but Carly Cisneros, one that could get going even more. She's got 9 kills, hitting 320.
For both teams right now, not the hitting percentage as a team that they want, especially going from the first couple of sets where they were pretty even at some points, and Stanford at one point was hitting over 600, but here in this third set now, for Arizona hitting .069, so sub 100. Stanford at 161, so a few more errors there on these swings for both teams. And we've seen some of those plays, and a lot of them have been very difficult sets out of system on both sides of the net.
Going from 387 last set for Arizona to sub 100, 226 for Stanford, down to 161 in this set. Stanford overall in the match, out hitting Arizona 294 to 236. But both teams make it tough. When your season's on the line, that's what happens.
But as you talked about earlier, even with not having the best hitting percentage in this moment, obviously the Cardinals still leading here and really still leading on the serve seat and staying more in system than Arizona. It makes it very, very difficult against a team like Stanford if you struggle to stay in system on the majority of the plays that we've seen in the last 10 points.
Out of the break. Rubin gets the first one. She's at double-digit kills.
Rubin rolling that ball down the line. She goes up, hits that ball a little flat. You see the wrist away there to turn.
Just the 5th service error for Stanford there. Back to the 7-point lead, 23 to 16. Cardinals still in control. And coming in is Anna Heath, the senior from Murphy, Texas, at the service line.
Coming in as a serving specialist here. Trying to give the Cardinal a different look.
Tough serve. In the back row, Harvey. Cisneros. Andrew on the slide.
Andrew coming in, taking a big swing here to get the Cardinal to set point.
Cardinal fans on their feet here in Maples Pavilion. Elia Rubin at the line. Cisneros, overpass. Dump! Scoggins! Smart move.
Scoggins has been so successful with her setter dumps so far in this match. They've not been ready, and it's been very rare when she's done it, but has been successful in the last couple of attempts here.
Pair of kills for her. Second team all Big 12 this season. Hot shove, straight down. Stanford takes the third set, 25-17. They're up 2-1 over Arizona. We play on till the fourth set as these two familiar foes continue. Welcome back to Maples Pavilion. What a third set that we just witnessed. Stanford taking it 25-17 over Arizona. They're up 2-1 as we head now into the fourth set.
One of the biggest differences that we saw in that last set was the efficiency of the Cardinal, but we talked about the serve pass game and how important that was to really try to stay in system against a good team. We see the difference when we look at the reception between both teams and what that leads your players on the floor to be able to do when they hit. 7 reception errors for Arizona, quite a few aces for the Cardinal. They ended that one. They have 7 aces right now on this match, so that is a huge difference maker when you think about it between these two teams and why they were so dominant in that last set specifically.
Head coach Kevin Handley in his 9th season here at Stanford. 114-14 record here at Maples. 21-2 in the NCAA tournament. You covering some ground. Over to Cisneros. Reset on the slide, Sayer. Roll shot from Cisneros. Slide once again. This time, Sayer delivers.
Erica Sayer, the freshman middle blocker, her 8th kill on the night. 8 kills, 7 blocks for her.
Taylor Yu still at the line. Jones off the block. Etzler recovers. Blashaw finds the floor. She's got double-digit kills.
Blashaw, double-digit kills, and at least half of those have been from those aggressive push tips that she has been delivering, just seeing open space between the block.
Service error for Stanford. That's their 6th.
This moment here for both teams, trying to figure out their rhythm, trying to limit the errors that we make here. As I'm saying that, a tough play there for Harvey as she comes in. And that play has been so successful throughout the match. That is her first error on that play. Her seeing those 2 blockers up in front of her make her change course a little bit.
Evened up at 2. Blashaw with the touch once again.
I just spoke about how over half of her kills so far on the night have been from those tips. Actually, that might be her most dominant attack so far in this match.
Stanford retaking the lead. Blashaw at the line. Wilson, dug up by Etzler. Rubin off the block. From the middle, Sayer.
Good play there from the Cardinal, and a beautiful out-of-system set from you. Getting that ball into a place where Rubin can try to take a swing at that. And her response once they get that ball back, giving the set to Sayer to make something happen.
9 kills, 7 blocks for Erica Sayer. Service error right there. Evened up now at 7 apiece. Arizona back within 1 early in the 4th set.
And Doty coming in to serve.
Rubin. Jones. Stanford with the point, back up by 2.
Jones trying to come in for that ball. Taking a big swing, unfortunately a miss there as it hits the top of the tape. Trying to go around the block of Erica Sayer.
These two teams have met 86 times. 76 of those have been won by the Cardinal. But an authoritative swing right there from the Wildcats.
Swing here. Wildcats trying to close this gap between them and the Cardinal, not wanting them to get any further ahead. Only 1 point difference here in this 4th set.
2 double-digit killers now for Arizona, but the service error will give Stanford a 2-point lead once again.
So 8 service error for the Wildcats here. 2 Stanford 7. So Tusher now in to serve. We saw her a couple of weeks ago come in another time when Parks was out.
Underclassmen out of Tiburon, California. Rubin with the big swing. Running out of room.
Wildcats chasing that ball down. Trying to make a play happen, but a huge swing there from Rubin. And you see her roll that ball right to the middle back. Some pace.
Tusher into the net. Service error for the Cardinal.
So tough here. I think that also happens in a match like this where we've seen so many scrappy plays. They are putting so much power and energy into everything that they do. Unfortunately, that does sometimes lead to more error as the teams get fatigued in trying to make something happen.
Rubin looking for the back line, goes just long.
She's going to ask for a challenge on that play. We'll see.
Right away, the communication with head coach Kevin Hambley on this.
So we'll see what this looks like on the replay here.
Call on the court was that there was no touch. Stanford, of course, challenging to see if there was. And our officials tonight, Tony Chan, Kaylee Kimura, Neil Meredith, Donald Taryn. It's the group taking another look.
We'll see here and watch another replay of that. We need to get that close-up shot again.
Not sure if there's enough overturn.
It would have been on the outside hand there, right next to the antenna.
And then Scoggins, yeah, that's
I'm not
tough.
seeing the finger move, though. That's a tough one.
Why the call on the court also matters, because is there enough to overturn something? Have to be able to see that evidence.
And I think it's hard, too, for the refs that are looking at that. They have to be able to see a finger move, and we didn't really see a finger move on that last play. So that they might not be able to retain that challenge for the Cardinal. So they will get that one.
Saw what Kevin Hambley and Elia Rubin saw. The call is reversed, challenge successful. We talked about Kevin Hambley's success with the video reviews, and that continues here.
So efficient, way more efficient than us, because I was unsure on that one.
And worthy of note, there are multiple views, additional angles that the officials have a DV sport, even more so than TV. There's Blashoff. Cisneros off the block. Back set. Wilson, big dig from Rubin. Blashoff again. Big dig on the other side. Ginder. Touch. Blashoff finds the floor. She has been reading that beautifully.
Her off-speed shots are leading her right now in this matchup. That is her 13th kill. I think I said it maybe 3 points ago that maybe about half of her kills were tips. She is now over half with her off-speed shots and those tips.
150. Elia Rubin with her 150th career ace. A couple so far tonight. Stanford with a 5-point lead.
That's 8 aces now for the Cardinal.
Follows it up with the service error. Point goes to Arizona. 6 will serve 10 as Brenna Ginder, the sophomore, back at the line. They'll trade service errors.
We're going to get close to double-digit service errors here in the fourth. Obviously not something that either team wants in this matchup. Something that happens when they are trying to deliver really strong serves.
9 apiece. There's Coco Kirsch. Wilson. On the slide, Erica Sayer. Recovered. Well done by Wilson and Ginder. Free ball. On the slide, this time, no doubt. Erica Sayer, double-digit kills.
Leaving a resounding boom with that swing from Sayer, cross court. So fast getting on that ball. Stanford continuing to stay in the lead in this fourth set.
Six-point lead for the number 6 overall seed, the Stanford Cardinal, here in the fourth set. They are hitting .438 so far, holding Arizona right at 0, and 4 Stanford players with double-digit kills already.
The Cardinals showing their dominance here. As I talked about, we spoke about the service and those errors and that how much of a difference that makes for both teams. Cisneros gets a kill off of the hands of you there on the block. Speaking about how much of a difference that makes, that really does make or break your momentum, especially when you have the serve and you want to continue to push points. And we've seen that with the Cardinal, that they have pushed points on their serve with aces.
Blashoff with the swing. Cisneros with the push. Blashoff again, tools it. Julia Blashoff, team high 13 kills.
Swing off of the hands, down the line for Blashoff. Going after that outside hand.
Cardinal have won the last 4 meetings straight against Arizona. The touch from Sayer.
Sayer now. Another point for her. 4 Cardinal players in double-digit kills right now.
11 for Sayer and Harvey. Dozen for Rubin, 13 for Blashoff. There's the block. Erica Sayer with her 8th tonight.
You know, I wasn't going to say it too early, but when we talked about Sayer and her stats earlier and I looked at her blocks, she is so close to having a double-double here with her kills and her blocks in this match. She has been so dominant at the net.
Set up from the Wildcats. There's Vanek, dug up by Etzler. Harvey with the swing. A dozen kills for Air Jordan.
Air Jordan, her cousins Aaron Gordon plays on the Nuggets, so we see the athleticism in her family there. She takes a huge swing to that cross-court corner.
Cisneros. Near the net. Another joust.
That error on Stanford. Glashow feeling some laughs there after that mistake, but they'll move on. You see Coach Hambly telling them, let's focus on the next one, focus on the next one.
8-point lead still for Stanford. There's Harvey. It's off the tape.
She tried to go for that one, and that one would have cleared the tape. She may have put a hole in the floor on the other side, but unfortunately doesn't clear the net. So another point for the Wildcats.
You at the setup. Blashoff again. Well placed.
Glashow really has been adjusting a lot on the net. She's gotten quite a few sets out of system that have been really tight into the Wildcats block, but has figured out a way to score in those moments.
Britt Carlson on the court, the redshirt junior, transfer from UCF, Minnesota native. Rubin, the dig from Ginder. Wilson, Ginder recovers. Opportunity. Sayer right into the block. Joust at the net. Rubin tries to get the touch, but it goes out.
A little miscommunication there on who was going to take that ball for the out-of-system set. And as I just talked about, those balls getting way too close to the net. They're putting them in the space where the Wildcats can play. And it makes it really tough for your hitter to try to find space there and make something happen. And fortunately, an error for the Cardinal on that last one.
Rubin answers. Gives the Cardinal an 8-point lead once again. Elia Rubin, 13th kill for number 13.
Another kill for the senior. As we said earlier, the only returning All-American on the floor. ABCA Player of the Year semifinalist.
A couple of digs away from her team-leading 12th double-double this season. Big dig from Etzler. In there on the line, cross court. Wilson reminding everyone that she's on the court.
Been a little quiet from her so far in this last part of the fourth set, but she is still leading. Her 16th kill of the match.
And serve will go long. Double-digit service errors for Arizona tonight.
Another missed serve there. And I know for Arizona, that has been a tough spot. They have really affected their momentum in this matchup with Stanford, giving them way too many easy points.
Logan Tusher back at the line for the Cardinal. The dump goes off the net. Handled by Stanford. Rubin, big dig from Ginder. Wilson with the push. Diving is Blashoff. Dives all around. Tucker puts it over. At the net. Off the block. Rubin again. Cisneros handles. Wilson. What a rally. The slide for Andrews off the block. Rubin. The tension builds. The block builds. Arizona comes out on top.
What a play, and the scrappiness of both teams picking up everything to keep going there. A big block for the Wildcats, but a little bit tough for Rubin. A lot of those balls that were set to her just too tight to the net. I've been talking about that throughout this match right now. It makes it really hard, and sometimes it's also putting your player in a little bit of a danger zone, getting that close to the other team. It's making me a little bit nervous watching their feet land on the floor there in a couple of those plays.
Elia Rubin responds, tied for a team high 14 kills. Stanford now the first to 20.
A nice response to that last play there, getting her a ball that she can do something with.
Now at the service line. A couple of aces in her back pocket. Cross her to Cisneros. Etzler keeps it going. Cisneros again with the kill.
Cisneros coming back with a response of her own. 12 kills for the outside.
2 Wildcats with double-digit kills. The 12 for Cisneros and Wilson with a match-high 16. On the slide, Andrew. Cisneros. Back row, Rubin with the soft touch. Cisneros. Rubin again. Just at the net potential. Running it down is Wilson. Keeping it alive is Arizona. Free ball. Andrew on the slide. This time, beautiful.
I could see in that play a couple of errors there on both sides. A couple of those moments where I was like, oh, I do not want to be on the floor with what my coach might say to me if one of those did not go well. But that point going back to the Cardinal.
Lizzie Andrew with 7 kills, hitting .636 tonight. Here's Vanek. No panic! She continues to contribute. That's her 3rd kill.
Vanek, 3 kills. Has been effective also on the block, 2 for her. Has had moments where she's been a little bit quiet, but when she gets the ball, she's making something happen.
All-around athlete, also on the track and field team at Arizona. And Blashov blasts off 15 kills.
You can see that from Vanek and the way that she moves and her athleticism there.
You serve. Vanek, what an adjustment.
A tough play there. I've talked about the middle of the court for the Cardinal. That's going to be something for them to try to adjust to. I know that's a tough play. An off-speed shot there.
Sayer! What a punch! But out of bounds.
This is one of those pivotal moments on a team where you've had a couple of back-to-back errors. So how do you reset here and go back to the basics? Just try to play good volleyball to stay in this lead.
Raw shot. Over to Wilson. Set from Rubin. Big swing, goes long. Arizona now within 5.
Looks like they want to challenge. Thinking that there was a touch on that play and that swing from Blashov. So we'll see if the efficiency will hold up here for a Cardinal challenge.
Successful challenge last time around on the touch on Rubin's swing. Officials will take another look here at this one. As it stands right now, 22-17, Stanford over Arizona.
We'll see. You can see Coach Hambly talking with Sayer, too, about her last swing that went out, and I talked about that throughout the season. She's been working on that slide, and when it's on, and she hammers that ball straight down, and has had some plays where it goes just a little bit outside of the line, something that she's working on, but as a freshman, already so impressive with that attack.
Smart decisions, smarter swings. That's something Kevin Hambly said that they've been working on. Kevin Hambly, a 2-time national champion at Stanford, back-to-back seasons. The first Cardinal head coach to win the national championship in their first 2 seasons since 2005. ACC Coach of the Year this year, in addition to co-champions just their 2nd year in the conference.
So a coach with lots of experience. My former head coach from college during my time at Illinois. Someone that players on the floor can learn a lot from. Coach The All-Americans, many professional players, myself also being one.
The call will stand. Stanford will lose the challenge. So we stay at 22-17.
The Wildcats keep the ball here and go back to serve. Cisneros.
17 serving 22. Harvey. Wilson runs into it. Carlson dug up. Wilson again with the touch. Harvey terminates.
Great set there from Blashoff. The out of system, just trying to get that ball to Harvey. And her athleticism taking her steps to get all the way in on top of that ball. And a huge swing straight down.
Coming in, one of the seniors, Anna Pringle at the service line. La Jolla, California native.
Cheers heard around Maples Pavilion as she comes in.
Into the block, the Wildcats staying alive.
Big block there for Wilson and Carlson. They go up in front of Harvey.
5-point lead for Stanford. And Doty at the service line for Arizona. There's you. Roof comes down.
That block straight down from Journey Tucker. That's her 5th block on the match. Just massive. She is straight over. There is nowhere to go on that last play.
Service error goes long, and that gives the match point to Stanford.
Such a tough time for a service error. I've talked about that a lot throughout this match.
Spencer Etzler at the line. 3 aces so far tonight. Wilson. Not done yet.
Arizona trying to make something happen here. The Cardinal on the edge of taking this match and closing out this second round of the NCAA tournament here in Maples Pavilion.
Serve from Ray. Back set to Harvey. Fishes it! The Stanford Cardinal! What a sweet ending! They will move on to the Sweet 16 after taking this one 3-1 in the second round over Arizona.
A huge match here for the Cardinal and a battle between these two teams, reminiscent of the Pac-12. And now the Cardinal will advance to the end of the line for the Arizona Wildcats. But a great matchup between these two in this battle in Maples Pavilion.
Cardinal led by Julia Blashoff with 15 kills. Elia Rubin with her team-leading 12th double-double of the season. 14 kills, 10 digs. And Stanford moves on. On the Arizona side, head coach Rita Stubbs and company. What a season that they have had. They will finish 17-13 overall in their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2018 after getting their first win in the tournament under head coach Stubbs. Finishing in the second round. What a journey they've had.
In a battle to finish it out. They've had some good moments in this matchup, really showing what they've worked on throughout the season. We saw Wilson go off for 17 kills in this match. Cisneros with 12 kills, hitting 275. But the Cardinal celebrating as they close this out a tough journey here to get to this point for them in these last 2 matches, and they look ahead to the next round.
They will move on to the regional in Austin. In the Sweet 16, they've improved to 29-4 on the season, and they continue on the path and on the road to their potential 10th national championship in school history. Thank you all for joining us for some postseason volleyball. On behalf of our entire crew, my partner Naya Crittenden, I'm Jenna Becerra saying so long from Stanford, the Cardinal, with a 3-1 victory over Arizona to move on in the NCAA tournament.